Hey guys, it's Jeff Beers here from 40 Finance, and today I'm doing a quick topic on stock recommendations. Where can you go for stock recommendations? Who can you trust with stock recommendations? I just want to touch on this topic very quickly because I think it's important. Okay, so in my opinion, the key to stock recommendations is kind of thinking about 3 or 4 things, right? First, you actually have to look at the source of the information. Is it someone who is an analyst in a big firm? Is it the company itself? Is it a blogger on the street? Where is the information coming from? And that will kind of allow you to dig back into that person's recommendations, see if they've had any success before. Is there an angle to why they're recommending the stock? And then the next part is a little bit, in my opinion, perhaps the most important thing. When you see boards like this, and this is just a recommended stock board from TipRanks, is just a service that I use more or less to kind of gauge the opinion of stocks that I'm interested in. Take a look. It takes all the analysts from all across the internet and puts the information kind of easily in one spot. There's a bunch of services that do it. I use TipRanks. You can look for your own, and you don't even really need a service like this if you do the homework on the stock. So as I look at this board with Google and some others as a strong buy, that's obviously a good place to start in your research if you have no idea what stock you're going to pick. It just says that analysts are bullish on this stock right now. But what does strong buy really mean? Okay. And I think that that's the important caveat to all this. You have to remember what kind of trader you are. All right, so I'm a long-term investor, typically looking no less than 1 year to hold any stock, and probably more like 3 to 7 years. All right, so strong buy today doesn't really influence my decision making. It's more or less, what do I think the stock will do in the future? So I could go up and down these boards and see strong buy, strong buy, strong buy. But if I do that, it may not actually meet my investing goals. Some of these stocks could be strong buys for the short term, AKA we're in Q1 right now. Are they saying in Q2 some new device or invention comes out, and that's when this company is going to see the strongest gains? On the flip side, if you saw a lot of sells or a lot of holds, it doesn't necessarily mean that I'm out of the market, because I'm looking for stocks that provide value for the long term. And sells and holds for me is sometimes a great place to pick up bargains that I'm interested in over the next 5 to 7 years. And if they're holds or sells today, Apple kind of comes to mind because they've been getting picked on a little bit here in 2019. If you know the whole world was hold or sell on Apple, doesn't mean I'm out, okay? Knowing what I already know about Apple, I would probably go in and still do my research and see, hey, is this an opportunity to get Apple on the cheap? Whereas all these things that are strong buys, this isn't exactly top secret information, right? So if you're getting analyst after analyst pumping a stock and saying strong buy, well, everybody's reading that. And so you're competing in price against all the buyers. Whereas if you were on Apple on a downturn, you would actually be waiting to see what is the lowest price I can get it at. I know this company's not going out of business. I know probably the next iPhone is going to create a spike in sales. So that's the difference in mindset when you look at stock recommendations. And then the last thing to consider when you think about stock recommendations from analysts is the whole business picture, right? So one guy, or heck, dozens of people saying strong buy should not be your only indicator. All right, you should be into each stock, looking at PE ratios, looking at earnings per share, looking at growth prospects in the market. Can this company grow continuously over time? Do I see it as a long-term opportunity? That's the things that I look at. All right, so between those three, if you think about the trustworthiness of a source, if you think about your long-term objective and how it relates to a stock recommendation. And finally, if you dig into the fundamentals of a company that's being recommended, that's really where you should take stock recommendations. And it almost doesn't matter where you hear the recommendation, as long as you put the three pieces of the puzzle together and see whether or not it makes sense to you. And at the end of the day, a lot of these analysts and folks, it's a guessing game, all right? The market can do crazy things. Crazy things can happen to companies. Great things can happen. Bad things can happen. Economic factors can influence the whole market. So it's a best guess scenario, which is why it's so important to take anyone's opinion and do your own research. Hope you guys enjoyed this. My name's Jeff Beers. This is the 40 Finance channel. I'm plugging away at this channel. Please like and share these videos to help me spread the word. Appreciate all of your help. Have a great day. See you on the next video.